Good evening. Welcome to the April 17th, 2013 Valley View School Board meeting on a soggy Wednesday night. Mr. Venegas, would you kindly lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes, sir, I will do. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I just pulled in, so I'm kind of out of sorts here. If you give me a second, we are asking for the agenda to be approved as, affirmation board statement. How about Ms. Hanson? You look like you're ready to roll. Not? Almost. While she's pulling that up, cell phones on vibrate, please. Thank you.
Our mission is to ensure that all students are prepared for college and a successful life academically, socially, and emotionally, as well as equipped with the necessary tools to have options and make decisions about long-term goals. This will be accomplished by believing and working towards all students learning through rigorous curricula and meaningful, effective instruction, consequently demonstrating mastery on high-quality assessments with all stakeholders being accountable throughout the process.
Thank you. Approve the minutes as presented. Dr. Mitchum, any amendments to the agenda?
Yes, Mr. President, I'd like to ask the board to approve the amended agenda, removing items 6.8 and 7.6.
So moved.
Motion and second. Is there any discussion? That being said, roll call vote, please.
Member Venegas?
Yes.
Member Hanson?
Yes?
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Curran?
Yes.
Secretary Bull?
Yes.
Vice President Gugis?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes. Mr. Grisafi, Treasurer's Reports.
Treasurer's Monthly Report for March 2013 contains the usual reports, financial reports, balance sheets, and summary of revenue and expenditures, along with the interim obligation payments totaling $3,414,060.81 for your action.
Motion to approve the Treasurer's Report as presented would be in order.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none. Roll call vote, please.
Member Venegas?
Yes.
Member Hanson?
Yes?
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Curran?
Yes.
Secretary Bull?
Yes.
Vice President Gugis?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes.
Schedule of bills payable for April 2013 includes funds from the Education Fund, Operations and Maintenance Fund, Transportation, Capital Projects, Tort Fund, and Food Service Fund. Grand total for the bills payable, $2,073,499.55 for your action.
So moved. Second.
Motion and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none. Madam Clerk, take the roll, please.
Member Venegas?
Yes.
Member Hanson?
Yes?
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Curran?
Yes.
Secretary Bull?
Yes.
Vice President Gugis?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes. Investments, Gare.
Summary of investments is included for information only. Includes our all of our investments through the month of March. We have the state funding update as we've typically provided over the last several years. Information only, as well as the trust activity accounts for each of our buildings in the district. Happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions of Mr. Grisafi on the information reports on investments, state funding, and/or trust accounts? We're at 4.9 million in the state back debt. Is that much different from the last?
No, it
Looks pretty
represents
similar.
1 quarter.
Yeah, okay, so about $5 million. Okay, consent agenda, Dr. Mitchum.
Mr. President, I'd like to ask the board to approve consent agenda items 6.1 through 6.8. 6.1 board meeting minutes, March 25th, 2013. 6.2 executive session meeting minutes, March 25th, 2013. 6.3 gifts for Jane Addams Middle School and Bolingbrook High School. 6.4 trips for Bolingbrook High School. 6.5 driver education fee for school year 2013-2014. 6.6 student activity contracts, Lukanzik Middle School and Savoy Foods and Hermanson Elementary School and Anderson Book Fair Company. And 6.7 ComEd utility easement agreement for Irene King Elementary School.
Motion to approve would be in order.
So move. Second.
Motion and seconded. Is there any discussion on the information or the consent agenda items? Hearing none, seeing none. Roll call vote, please.
Member Venegas,
Yes.
Member Hanson,
Yes.
Member Campbell,
Yes.
Member Curran,
Yes.
Secretary Bull,
Yes.
Vice President Gugis,
Yes.
President Quigley.
Yes. Moving down the agenda, student and staff recognition. Pillars of Valley View. First up is Beverly Scoff. Mr. Venegas, if you would, please.
Good evening, Dr. Mitchum, senior leadership, members of the board, and the community of Valley View. Tonight is a proud night for SCOFF as I introduce to you Miss Carolyn Foley. Carolyn has been a speech pathologist at Beverly SCOFF since 2011. Ms. Foley exemplifies excellence in all that she does. She goes above and beyond to ensure she reaches each and every student that enters her room. She believes in all students and challenges them to become the best that they can be. Ms. Foley instills a sense of confidence in our students and encourages them to become problem solvers and lifelong learners. Ms. Foley not only works wonders with our students, she also is an amazing asset to our families and community members as she consistently extends herself by providing resources and strategies to assist our families. Her positive energy and belief in all students do not go unnoticed. SCOFF is proud to introduce Ms. Carolyn Foley as our pillar of Valley View.
Next up, Jane Addams. Oh, Mr. Curran, you got it? Yeah, there you go.
Good evening, school board members and Valley View School community. It is my pleasure to share with you our latest choice to receive the Pillar of Valley View from Jane Addams Middle School. Miss Jennifer Burke is a science teacher at Jane Addams Middle School, but her impact is felt well beyond the doors of our school. Not only is Miss Burke a member of the Jane Addams Professional Development Committee, she is also the building induction coordinator and assists in the development of new teachers to our staff. Ms. Burke has also served on the District Mentoring Steering Committee that advises senior leadership in the direction of the mentoring programs. She is also a member of the District Co-Teaching Committee, which seeks to improve the implementation of co-teaching throughout the district. Valley View School District is lucky to have teachers like Ms. Jennifer Burke, and we are proud to introduce her as a pillar of Valley View. It's a rose between two thorns.
Thank you.
Last but certainly not least, Romeoville High School. Mr. Kinder.
Good
Good evening, President Quigley, Vice President Gugis, Secretary Bull, members of the board, Dr. Mitchum, senior leadership, members of the audience, and members of the community. Romeoville High School would like to recognize Michelle Petkevich as a pillar of Valley View. Michelle has been an educator at Romeoville High School for 11 years. Michelle always makes it a point to ensure that every student she interacts with is met with the belief that they can be successful. Michelle always goes out to great lengths to ensure that the academic and social needs of her students are met. She creates and delivers lessons that are rigorous, relevant, and engaging. She consistently challenges her students to take their knowledge to the next level and motivates them to apply what they've learned in the classroom simulations and the real world. Michelle also has assumed a leadership role in our school by creating all of our Great Expectation lessons for the past 3 years. Our Great Expectation lessons are a universal support that cover topics such as bullying, safety drills such as lockdown and fire drills, social and academic supports, organizational tips and tricks, and testing information. Michelle has partnered with her students to create these whole school presentations that have become and continue to be a valuable resource for our students and staff at Romeoville High School. Michelle is a wonderful asset to RHS, and we truly appreciate all that she does for the students, families, and staff at Romeoville. Michelle is an extremely valued member of the Romeoville High School community, and she is without a doubt deserving of being identified as a pillar of Valley View. Michelle Petkevich.
Next up, we have the BHS Worldwide Youth in Science and Engineering State Qualifier, Neil Sheth from Bolingbrook High School. Okay, I got it. Medical procedures.
Good evening, Board of Education, senior leadership, community members. It is my pleasure to introduce Stacy O'Connor, who will be introducing and recognizing Neil Sheth for, again, the WISE competition. It's pretty exciting. Can I go off script for a minute, Mr. Rose? Okay.
Absolutely.
This is Rob's show, so he told me to stay on script, but I'm just going to go off of it just to irritate him just a little bit. But I have to say, Neil is the only student I've seen recognized, not only by one staff member, but it takes 3 more to share with you the accolades that's going to be coming to you. It's fantastic to see Neil in the hallway, see him in the classroom, and always it's a pleasure to see his parents who support him in every way, shape, or form. I'm also excited about the parents who are here. As you can see, that's going to be for the rest of the student athletes who's going to be recognized here at Bolingbrook High School. I'm a very proud person today as a result of our students and our staff sharing with you the very, very important work and proud work our students have done thus far this year. Ms. O'Connor.
Hey, good evening, Superintendent Mitchum, senior leadership, members of the school board, and members of the Valley View community. We're here to congratulate Bolingbrook High School junior Siraj Neil Sheth, who has been chosen as a finalist for the U.S. National Chemistry Olympiad competition. The U.S. National Chemistry Olympiad and the International Chemistry Olympiad are the most prestigious chemistry competitions that bring together the world's highest achieving and talented high school students to test their knowledge and skills in chemistry. Neil was selected after competing in an exam administered by the American Chemical Society at Lewis University in Joliet on March 21st. He has since participated in a 4.5-hour, 3-part national competitive exam based on theory and lab practicals held on the 13th of April at Lewis University. And I'm going to turn it over to Miss Nanette Davies.
If selected as one of the top 20 national finalists, Neil will be invited to attend a 2-week intensive study camp to be held in June at the U.S. Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and he will have the chance to be part of the 4-member U.S. team that will be sent to participate in the 45th International Chemistry Olympiad to be held this summer in Moscow, Russia. The U.S. team will compete with teams from more than 60 nations around the world. These students will be tested on their chemistry knowledge and skills in a 5-hour laboratory practical and 5-hour written theoretical exam. I'm going to pass
Sounds
it
like
over.
a fun summer.
Yeah, right? Tell me about it. Here's Annette Hall.
Neil also won first place for biology in both regional and sectional academic competitions for Worldwide Youth in Science and Engineering, and represented Bolingbrook High School at the state level at University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign on April 8th. At that competition, he achieved second place with a score that was 1 point below the first place score. Now to Mrs. Jones.
Furthering the cause of education, the environment, and the health of individuals are Neil's three passions. Through hard work and a constant desire to achieve at the highest level possible, Neil has put himself in a position to succeed at reaching his goals. He is an incredible example of the capabilities that all of our students have to excel at Bolingbrook High School, and his commitment to his education and future are an inspiration to all of us. So Neil, congratulations.
Thank you, board members. I just wanted to take a moment and thank all these amazing people for being here with me tonight. Thank you, board members, for honoring me. I'm humbled to be in your presence.
Thank you.
Thank you, parents.
Thank your parents.
Yes.
They're the ones that had you.
My parents, my family, they're truly amazing. My grandma came here from India, and she's here to support me, and her wisdom. Her wisdom inspires me every day. My parents also give me so much support. My mom especially is my rock. She came with me to Urbana-Champaign, and she helped me prepare for the exams. I'd also like to take a moment and recognize someone very special in my life, my little sister, who inspires me every day with her joy and energy and enthusiasm. It's her birthday today, so I'd like to really recognize her. I'd like to thank all my teachers, Ms. Hall and Ms. Jones, who were amazing sponsors, my fantastic teachers for chemistry, Ms. Davies, and for biology, Ms. O'Connell, whose innovative and engaging classrooms really helped me achieve my goals. And Mr. Rose and Mr. White, thank you for giving me all your support and all this enthusiasm. So thank you very much to everyone. I could not have achieved what I have without these people. Thank you.
If anybody needs tissue, I have some extras in my pocket. I'd be happy to hand out. That was a great job, Neil.
So if you go to Russia, will you bring back some of those stacked dolls? Those are fun.
I'll also say we had our second of two-day step-up day at Bolingbrook High School. Brooks Middle School was at Bolingbrook today, and Neil was on our student panel and did an excellent job, gave about a 2 to 3 minute speech, and really represented what a student is at Bolingbrook High School, and I think he did a great job of being an example for those kids. So my name is Rob Rose. I am the athletic director of Bolingbrook High School. Members of the board, senior leadership, Dr. Mitchum, members of the community. We have several students that are being recognized tonight. First up, I'm going to introduce our head POMS and competitive dance coach, Tanisha Mister, who's going to introduce our IDTA state soloists.
Thank you, Mr. Rose, and good evening, everyone. Again, I am Tanisha Mister, and I am the proud and honored varsity coach and second mom to our Bolingbrook High School varsity POMS and competitive dance team. I would also like to make mention that this is our first year being acknowledged by the Illinois High School Association as a competitive athletic program, and our first year, which means we have made history, that Bolingbrook High School has placed in the solo division. So on behalf of myself and the dance program at Bolingbrook High School, we would like to thank our athletic director, Mr. Rob Rose, and our principal, Mr. White, for their support, our student body for their encouragement, the families for allowing me to have a role in their athletes' lives, and our school board for taking the time to recognize these young people. Without further ado, I would like to introduce to you the two members of the varsity dance team who are both high academic achievers with well over a 3.5 grade point average, mentors for dance, outstanding citizens, true representations of what is desired from our student athletes, beautiful young women inside and out, and a blessing to our school, community, their families, and myself. So ladies and gentlemen, our BHS Junior and State Qualifier, Ms. Casey Lawless. And our Bolingbrook State Qualifier and third place solo state winner out of 47 competitors, I may add, as well as our team captain, Ms. Lauren Selinsky.
The next student that we're going to recognize tonight is Kamari Jordan. Kamari is was a member of our girls basketball team, our varsity girls basketball team. Kamari is being recognized tonight as a finalist, in fact, second place in the IHSA three-point showdown this year. And just to give you some idea of how difficult a job this was, there are nearly 800 member schools in the IHSA. For the regional, each coach, because every team makes it to the regional, each coach submits 4 names. And at the regional championship, all of those students from the regionals shoot for a chance to make it to the sectional finals. And then from there, from the sectional finals, they go on to state. Kamari actually won the state championship, if you will, of Class 4A. There are 4 classes in girls basketball and boys. And made it to the final round, and the girl that beat her had 11, and she made it to 10. So she lost by 2 baskets. So pretty phenomenal feat for her. The second greatest shooter, but the best shooter at Bolingbrook High School, and the best one that we've ever produced, both boys and girls. So congratulations to Kamari Jordan. She's a great student and an even better person. Congratulations, Kamari. And last but not least, I'd like to introduce our head boys basketball coach, Rob Rost, who will recognize our boys basketball All-State honorees.
Thank you, Mr. Rose, and good evening, Board of Education, Dr. Mitchum, and members of the community. It is my pleasure to introduce 3 young men to you. They're being recognized tonight because of their prowess on the basketball floor. However, they are much more than that to our school and to me personally. All 3 are honor roll students. The first young man I'm about to introduce to you carries a 3.75 GPA in all honors classes. He was named IBCA Special Mention All-State, which is why he is here tonight. He averaged just over 12 points a game with high games of 28 points. He was named first team all-tournament at the McDipper Holiday Classic. And the best part, he is only a junior, so he will be back next year, and that is Kenny Williams. Next young man averaged just over 15 points a game, 3 assists per game, had a high of 25 points against Sandburg, was named IBCA Special Mention All-State, was first team All-Tournament at the Joliet Holiday Classic, first team All-Southwest Suburban Conference, and again, one of the best things about him is he is only a sophomore. So he will be back for 2 more years at Bolingbrook High School. We're very excited about that. He has 2 full scholarship offers already on the table, and we expect more to come as we progress forward. Prentice Nixon. Next young man I'm about to introduce averaged just under 17 points a game, 11 rebounds, 3 blocks, 3 assists, 2 steals per game, had a high of 27 points against Oswego, was named second team IBCA All-State, first team All-Tournament at the Joliet Holiday Classic. For the second year in a row, was named first team All-Southwest Suburban Conference, has 3 career triple-doubles, and to my knowledge is the only person in school history to have 1. He was a finalist for Illinois Mr. Basketball Award this year. He's a 2-time IBCA All-State selection. He was voted Sun Publications Player of the Year, Voyager Media Player of the Year, MVP of the Voyager Media All-Star Game, was selected All-State by the Chicago Tribune, was selected All-State by the Chicago Sun-Times, was selected All-State by the Associated Press. And about 6 months ago, he had over 25 scholarship offers, including offers from Illinois, Missouri, Minnesota, Northwestern, among a host of others. He chose to play for Hall of Fame coach Larry Brown at Southern Methodist University. He leaves either the day of graduation or the day after, haven't quite decided. It's my pleasure to introduce Ben Moore.
Eastern Illinois needs some basketball players. Get on over there. Get down there. Come on, Charleston's a great town. Oh. We got to keep our local talent local. Mr. Kinder, if you would, please.
Good evening once again, members of the board, senior leadership, members of the audience and community. It gives me great pleasure to introduce another outstanding member of our outstanding science department as along that accompanies Mrs. Petkevich, who we honored earlier today. An outstanding science teacher at Romeoville High School. He's going to speak about Will and Cole a little bit here, Mr. Patrick Holden.
Thankfully, Nanette actually explained all about the American Chemical Society, so my speech is done. But these 2 students are sophomores in my honors chemistry class, and I'm so proud to say that they are engaged by chemistry and love chemistry enough to spend many an afternoon, Friday afternoons from 2 to 4 p.m. starting in January, to learn additional chemistry to prepare for the American Chemical Society Chemistry Olympiad. They also participated at Lewis University about a month ago, and also qualified for the national exam, which they took on Sunday. So it is my sincere hope, of course, that they make it to Moscow and then take me with them. But even if they don't, they have far surpassed my expectations and are truly wonderful representations of the student body at RHS. They're dedicated, hardworking, intelligent, and really wonderful to teach and wonderful to spend all this extra time with. Happily, we have another competition coming up. We're doing the robotics challenge at Joliet Junior College a week from Friday, so we might be seeing you again if you win. So I'm very excited to present Will Caron and Cole Brooker as qualifiers for the National Chemistry Olympiad.
As our normal custom, and any students in the audience, we're sure you have homework to do, so feel free to buzz on out of here. Stay dry as you can and drive safely home.
Hey, Neil, I wanted you to know that it's you that honor us, man. We've seen you in the newspaper, and your accomplishments are truly remarkable. You bring great honor to the school district. And we have a science fair tomorrow at RC Hill. I totally should have called you and had you help me with my son's science project.
All right, where are we at? Liaison reports, any and all, please. Starting with my left, Ms. Hanson? None? Mr. Bowl, Mr. Curran? Nobody down here on the right? All righty. I have one brief update. As you know, and we'll be discussing this matter sooner than later here this evening, the Illinois General Assembly is in full flourish, as it were. The House has a deadline for bills out of committee on Friday, or not out of committee, out of House of Origin, so they're doing a lot of floor action. A bill was passed today out of the House, House Bill 494, which as amended will put a moratorium on virtual charter schools in Illinois, except the ones that are pre-existing, for the next 12 months, I believe. I'm not sure the exact effective date of the bill. So just give everybody a heads up on that. And I'm sure that they'll be discussing pension and funding issues as they get closer to the deadlines and so on and so forth. So that's the legislative update. Audience participation. Is there anybody in the audience who wishes to address the board this evening? Seeing no one. Moving down the agenda. Student due process. Mr. Mitchum, if you would, please.
Mr. President, I ask that the board approve student due process cases A through G as presented.
So moved.
Motion and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none. Roll call vote, please.
Member Venegas?
Abstain.
Member Hanson?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Curran?
Yes.
Secretary Bull?
Yes.
Vice President Gugis?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Present. Next.
I make a motion to...
Hold, wait. You want to present it, or? Go ahead and present it. Well, I'll present it.
Mr.
doesn't matter.
President,
Regarding the decision regarding virtual learning solutions, charter school proposal, motion would be in order for discussion.
I make a motion to approve a resolution to deny Virtual Learning Solutions Charter Schools proposal and give the board's attorney the authority to draft a report reflecting and supporting the board's vote after consultation with senior administration.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion and second. All of those you that are out in the audience and those at home, as you are aware, about a month ago we had a presentation, a very lengthy presentation from a virtual charter school group that wishes to establish, along with 18 other or 17 other schools in this area, in the Fox Valley area, a virtual charter school. This is the first beginning of this. If this passes or fails, it will be so noted to the Illinois State Board of Education, who has a charter school component, that they will review whatever decision is made, and that's how we'll go forth from there. So with that said, we have a motion, we have a second.
A little more. So the public's clear, a yay vote on this is denying our school district, denying them the charter.
Correct.
We may or may not pass a resolution with the purpose of denying the charter school. So, any other discussion?
Yes, you guys are confusing. Just make it plain and simple, because what you guys just went backwards and forth with, I am confused. So I know that those that are listening, so just...
All right, a yay vote is denying the charter.
Any more?
Clear.
If there's no other discussion, Madam Clerk, please take the roll.
Member Venegas?
Yes.
Member Hanson?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Abstain.
Member Curran?
Yes.
Secretary Bull?
Yes.
Vice President Gugis?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes. Vote 6-0 to 1, actually one abstaining. Having received the number, it shall be reported to the Illinois State Board of Education via a resolution that will be...
Right. The motion granted us the attorneys the authority to draft a report. That's due 7 days from today. So
Okay.
we'll make sure that that's done, along with a copy of the resolution up to the state board.
Thank you. Moving down the agenda. Ms. Kinder, Ms. Smith.
No report this evening. No report this evening.
All right, next, Mr. Grisafi, Resolution 1453.
Yes, action report 12.1 is a resolution requesting an abatement of a portion of the working cash fund. This would be a transfer, if you will, more formally known as an abatement, to the capital projects fund to reimburse that fund for the all-day kindergarten project that began last spring, I guess, and was brought online for this new school year. The abatement in the amount of $13,510,000 needs to be transferred formally via resolution and was a part of our 2012-2013 district budget, and we do recommend its approval as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none.
This 13 million is coming from?
The working cash fund. Working cash fund currently carries a balance of $30,600,000.
Does that also include reserves, or is that the reserves that we have? Or?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And that's that has been the plan since the beginning of that project. Just formally now, we're just doing it to make it official.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, seeing none. Roll call vote, please.
Member Venegas?
Yes.
Member Hanson?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Curran?
Yes.
Secretary Bull?
Yes.
Vice President Gugis?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes. Ms. Hawks.
Action report 13.1 this evening. We are seeking your approval on the consolidated action report for certified and classified personnel. This includes 75 items for certified, 19 for classified, 1 for administrative classified, and 1 item for administrative certified personnel.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none. Roll call vote, please.
Member Venegas?
Yes.
Member Hanson?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Curran?
Yes.
Secretary Bull?
Yes.
Vice President Gugis?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes.
Action report 13.2, a resolution 1452. We're seeking your approval this evening to authorize the honorable dismissal of educational support personnel employee.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none. Roll call vote, please.
Member Venegas?
Yes.
Member Hanson?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Curran?
Yes.
Secretary Bull?
Yes.
Vice President Gugis?
Yes.
President Quigley?
Yes. Next on the list, information reports. Mr. Superintendent, if you would.
Yes, I'd like to jump in here on information report
Gary's,
14.1.
Sorry.
Is a lighting replacement information report. I'm not going to read it to you, but it does outline our desire to replace the lighting in the gymnasiums and field houses and wrestling areas of both high schools. We will be in the future bringing you a solution, both in terms of a procurement method as well as a savings estimate. But I think the important part of the information report is on page 2 in the chart that was provided, giving you an idea of how many, or the amount of grants that the district has been fortunate enough to receive from DECO, Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity in the state. We've received over $475,000 in grants for projects. So if we net that out against the cost of all the projects that are listed there, and there's 20 different projects, it's been just over $1 million that the district has spent for these various energy efficiency projects. But the annual projected savings amounts to over $270,000. And so your return on investment is under 4 years with that payback. And if we actually back out the chiller and boiler replacements, that payback is even quicker, in that we've only spent $129,000 net cost with a payback through energy savings of $225,000. So again, this is the first time I think that we've attempted to put this together kind of in a summary fashion to give you an idea of some of the things that the Building and Operations Department has been doing with the various projects that have come to you piecemeal over the last many years.
Question about the age of the lights at both schools.
Mike? 8 years old at both locations?
I have been in those field houses recently, and there is some pretty, there's some dark areas, as it were, especially when you got a bunch of athletes running around there with balls flying in the air and what have you. There's some dark spots, so I'm glad that we're getting that taken care of. So
I think as outlined in the report, Mr. Lopez does indicate that the technology has changed very rapidly over the last several years to allow not only higher light output, but at a cost savings.
Right.
And so, these solutions weren't necessarily available to us even just a few years ago. So that's why it's kind of coming front and center now.
World keeps moving. All right. Next.
Okay, good evening, President Quigley. Tonight we have 3 information reports related to high school mathematics. I'm going to introduce to you the Director of Mathematics and Science for 612, Christy Vay, and she has a plethora of support here. These are some of our fine, hardworking teachers from the mathematics departments at both high schools that have been very involved in the work that has been occurring, as well as our core content administrators from both high schools. So, Christy?
Thank you, Rachel. Good evening, Dr. Mitchum, President Quigley, Vice President Gugis, board members, community members, and senior leadership. We are here tonight to give you a short information going in depth on 3 items that are before you. Our first item is going to be a new course proposal for senior math, and Dan Petty from Bolingbrook High School is here to tell you a little bit more information.
Good evening. Due to the elimination of the lower courses over the last 3 years, students are now taking advanced algebra their junior year. This has opened an opportunity for students to take an elective math class their senior year. We currently offer applied math, pre-calculus, statistics, and AP statistics. However, these course offerings do not meet the needs of all the students. Many students are entering Joliet Junior College and trade schools, but they need additional practice for the 21st century. Their demands are not being met for their post-secondary education. As we gradually eliminate applied mathematics at the high school level, we would like to build additional options for senior level students to have mathematical classes to meet their needs. As many of the concepts in applied math are valuable, we are working with the Career and Technical Education Department to ensure that those concepts are met via the consumer education curriculum. Additionally, in working with the CTE department and director, we learned that there is a need for students to be exposed to trade school entrance exams. Therefore, our focus for first semester in senior math is going to be to focus on the Compass test, which prepares for the entrance for colleges and trade school entrance exams as well. During the second semester, we would like to prepare students to higher level college level material. So we're going to be focusing on statistics and trigonometry.
Thank you, Dan. Before we move on to our second information report, we'd like to open the floor for any questions you might have about senior math.
Less of a question, more of a statement. I think that it's really important that to see that preparation for the Compass test. One of the fastest growing profit centers for Joliet Junior College is our inability to have our students at college readiness when they get to Joliet Junior College. So they go to Joliet Junior College and take high school level math, which personally just tells me that we as a collective school district haven't done what we needed to do. So I'm really excited to see that you guys are addressing that need and making sure our students are ready to take that Compass test. Because I know your goal, along with all our goals, is that they should be college ready when they show up at JJC and not have to take a high school math course. So really, really happy to see that.
I would just like Mrs. Vay to comment briefly on the disconnect really between the Compass test and the type of preparation and the rigor that our students are prepared for and exposed to, because there is a slight disconnect, and it is something that we are working with the junior colleges on, but I'd like Ms. Vay to speak to that.
So the Compass test has different requirements than the tests that our students take as their junior year, the Prairie State Achievement Exam. As you know, the Prairie State Achievement Exam is composed of the ACT and the WorkKeys exam. Those exams allow for calculator usage, and the exams have the students have to apply skill mathematics questions to upper level questions and read through the problems. The Compass Learning Test is a skill-based exam. It's very procedural in nature. There is no calculator allowed on the exam. It goes back to adding and subtracting fractions, multiplying and dividing decimals, and the students haven't been exposed to a lot of that material throughout their high school year in terms of the concept without using resources and tools as allowed on the Prairie State Achievement Exam. And so we feel the need to prepare our students so that they can take college level courses, because it's a disconnect between the two areas.
So while we are aligning to the Common Core state standards and, for example, teaching our students to reason abstractly and quantitatively and to and to embed these mathematical practice and principles and truly think, then they have to put on their other thinking cap and go through that procedural kind of rote things. So we do recognize that they need to be prepared for both, which is why there is the development of this course. However, our goal is preparing our students to think and reason and be able to construct an argument and defend their argument and be able to really use math. And so that's our focus, and we want to make sure they're prepared for whichever path they take.
I mean, I totally appreciate that focus. I do think that if most of our students could do that well, they would pass the Compass test. It's not that rigorous, but what's important is there is no single college that more of our kids go to than Joliet Junior College. So if we can't successfully get them over the hurdle to go in that college, then that's a problem. So I do appreciate this program.
So statistically speaking, how do the other high schools perform when they go to Joliet Junior College and you take away their calculator?
Exactly.
We're pretty much in the ballpark with all of the area high schools. It's
away
across
that
the board.
calculator and
Right. Right.
Any other discussion? If not, thank you all for your efforts. Appreciate it very much.
That was part one of
They're
the.
right, they're not done.
I thought you were going to get away easy. Okay, part two.
Part two is our Algebra 1 curriculum, as we're going to bring up Elizabeth Cowie and Sarah Stacknick to talk about our work that we've been working on this whole year.
The 9th grade committee began meeting in September of this school year. The group consists of 8 high school math teachers, 4 from each building, 1 middle school math teacher, the 2 core content administrators, and the director of math for 612. We began the year by discussing the changes that have been implemented at the middle schools throughout the past 2 years, and also completed a site visit to see middle school students working through the new curriculum. We also researched the 8 mathematical practices as well as the content standards to learn about what was being asked of algebra students. We then realized that our current Algebra 1 textbook would not support the changes that are necessary to meet the Common Core state standards. Throughout November and December, we reviewed several different resources to support the changes necessary to meet the demands of the Common Core state standards. Prior to winter break, all high school math teachers were given an opportunity to come to the Administration Center and review the committee's final 3 selections. There was an overwhelming vote for Carnegie Learning based on what the Common Core state standards are asking for students to be successful with.
We believe that Carnegie is a good resource because it not only supports the Algebra 1 standards, but it also provides us with an opportunity to extend the curriculum for a group of honors algebra students. If approved, the committee will work on preparing curriculum maps, examples of rigor, assessments, and additional tests and supplementary lessons necessary for all algebra teachers in order to meet the rigor of the Common Core state standards in the 8 mathematical practices. The purchase price also includes professional development for all algebra teachers to further their understanding of implementing a student-led classroom and incorporating the mathematical practices.
Thank you. Any questions on our implementation of our new curriculum at Algebra and Honors Algebra?
Apparently not.
Perfect.
Now.
We have last one for you tonight is a called Intensified Algebra by Agile Mind, and Rick Delamorte and Will Rose from Romeoville High School will be here to tell you a little bit about that.
With the implementation of the Common Core state standards at the high school level, our focuses have been making curriculum adjustments that raise the expectations for all students and supporting teachers to modify their instructional delivery of mathematics. Presently, some students receive an additional 25 minutes of mathematical instruction daily to help them meet the demands of the current curriculum. As we are making curriculum and instruction shifts, we would like to pilot Intensified Algebra by Agile Minds to meet the needs of students who are currently not meeting the college and career readiness benchmark.
In reviewing our data from Explore and MAP testing, and knowing the supports that middle school students are currently receiving through enhancement class, we wanted to research options for closing the gap that exists in student mathematical knowledge. To bridge this gap, we would like to run a pilot with a selected group of 75 students in the district using this research-based program. These students are currently enrolled in our middle school enhancement class, and we want to continue to support the growth these students are making. We researched several different programs and found that Intensified Algebra was one of the programs that other districts are implementing, and they're seeing success. In addition to reviewing the program, we conducted one site visit to an area school where we were able to meet with the intensified algebra teachers and discuss the implementation of the program. Through an extra class period of mathematics, students who are 1 to 2 years behind grade level will have the opportunity to be on track for geometry at the end of their freshman year. This program uses a student activity book that follows online lessons, and students can view at home as well as at school.
Now, is this going to be piloted in one school?
This is going to be a pilot at both schools, Romeoville High School and Willambrook High School.
A couple questions. One, I want to congratulate you guys on the work that you've done. Assistant Superintendent Kinder, Ms. Fay, one of the things that I've struggled with here on the board, there was a couple of years back, there was a presentation, and I said, well, what's the goal? What's the goal of this program? And after a 15-minute discourse, the goal was, hopefully we'll be better. Looking at your report, you have very clear, defined goals of what you want for our students. You have ways that you're going to measure it. And you plan on really doing a 360 kind of evaluation of the course at the end of the course through student surveys, teacher surveys, looking at MAP scores, the end of the course exam, and observations. I just feel like the preparation that you've put in makes me feel much more confident that this program will be successful. My one concern that I do have is, there's a phrase at the end of your presentation that says, impossible need for expansion. What I really find missing in this is, with what we're trying to do at the middle school to catch kids up with Odyssey, what we're trying to do at the elementary schools with not letting kids slip behind anymore. What I'd really like to see on this program is an end date. When will this program no longer be needed? So we don't have to have this course. And while we may have 1 or 2 students that fall into this course, they're able to be soaked up because they're 1 or 2 students, not the need to have 75 or, and I'm not even sure, I know you guys said 75, I'm not even sure if that's all the ones that need it.
It is not.
So I guess the only thing I would like to see added to this is, and that may take some coordination beyond your committee, I realize that, with, well, Christy, I know you do, Ms. Fay, I know you do middle, but with elementary, is at what time point do we see this course going away? Because this is really an intervention, and I would hate for it to be existing 5 years from now.
Our current elementary students should not need this course. If they come through our system and get to the point where they need this course, we have not done our jobs. I would like to say that this course will go away and no longer exist, except possibly for a few students that have unique circumstances or are new to our system. However, there may be a need for a temporary expansion because there are more than 75 students who are significantly behind given the increased benchmark. But I do hear you loud and clear, Member Gugis, that the end goal is to not have a need for this course because it is a intensified support intervention for students who have not been coming through as they should have been supported throughout the system for various reasons.
And I don't want you to get me wrong, I think clearly we need the course, and I think this is one of the most well-prepared documents I've seen for something that we're going to do. And it really gives me a lot of confidence that you guys have really looked at this hard and got the input from all the stakeholders. Yeah, I'm putting that down, Ms. Kinder, as 2017. We should no longer need this course.
Put it in the books.
Which I'm sure you guys would be happy about because I know you want to make really cool courses at the senior level for our kids that are just doing really well. So, but thank you guys for your hard work on this. This is really well done.
Thank you. I just want to thank our committee and the representatives that are here tonight. They've put in countless hours reviewing, going above and beyond, going on site visits, taking time to email their colleagues, email us, and do things that we ask so much of them. And I just can't thank them enough for coming tonight and for all their help this year.
I got one more thing. Recently, I did a site visit to 214. This past week, I did some training on board member training on a flipped classroom. Who's getting to teach a flipped classroom? Are any of you guys getting to teach the flipped classroom?
We actually have a few teacher flip classrooms going on this year, and those teachers have been sharing out information. Part of our plan for our new algebra curriculum is to have a component of a flipped classroom.
Yeah, I read that.
It does mean a lot of different things, so we'll bring more information for you. But if you'd like to see it, you can come talk to me, and we'll.
I would love to have an invite to come see one of our flipped classrooms.
You can send me an email, and we'll work something out.
Ms. Fay, can you explain what a flipped classroom is, because we just mentioned it?
Sure. There's a couple different models, but the traditional flipped classroom model is where students would watch a video of instruction during their homework time at night, and after they watch that video of instruction, they typically take a short online quiz. Several teachers are using Google Docs to administer that. There's also Edline that the teachers can use for administering it. The teacher looks at the data and the feedback and guides their instruction for the next class day on what students understand the concepts and what students don't.
Yeah, Dr. Mitchell and I sat in a room and watched some students do this in another district, and I just got to see some of this. The level of engagement the students had was really different than a traditional model. Yeah.
That is our plan for next year.
So in other words, that little online quiz they would take at night would be called homework?
Correct.
Thank you.
Any other
Usually be a
comments,
pre-assessment.
questions?
Yes, that would be called valuable homework.
That would be called a pre-assessment. That's going to give that
And
teacher valuable information.
I think in
to
the
know
class we saw too,
formative
it wasn't
assessment.
graded.
That's pretty much what homework
No.
is.
It wasn't
Come the
graded
next
at all,
day
though.
and
Homework is not an assessment.
No, when the teacher looks at the homework the next day and goes, hey, little Joey, you didn't get it.
It could
Now
be,
I have
yes.
to go back and review it again with you.
Of course, it could be, yes.
Yeah, using it as an assessment tool is a much more valuable tool if we're going to use the flipped classroom in assessing learning. I'd also like to thank the committee. This is another example of while we're attempting to increase rigor in our district from the kindergarten level up, we've also committed to having a safety net for those kids who are caught in the middle. And this is just another example of the teachers spending a lot of time and a lot of effort in creating a net for those kids who were caught in the middle between the previous rigor standards and the current rigor standards. So thank you very much for all of your efforts.
Thank you all. Again, there's very detailed information reports, and anyone on the committee could provide you more information. I asked them to be brief, and they certainly were, but we'll be happy to answer any questions when we bring these items back for your approval at the next board meeting in May. Thank you all.
Thank you. Legal Services Report. Mr. Alperin.
No report this evening, thank you.
Thank you. Association Reports, AFT. No report. Valley View Council. No report. Valley View Office Council. No report. Thank you. Any old business to come for the board this evening? Any new business to come for the board this evening? None. Any questions from the public on action that we have taken this evening? Hearing none, seeing none. Any announcements by the board?
Yes, tomorrow, Thursday, April 18, will be the last parent night of the school year. It will be at Lukanzik Middle School from 6 to 8 p.m.
Parent night, special resource parent night?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other announcements by the board? Any announcements by the administration?
Tomorrow is the RC Hill Science Fair.
That's right.
6 to 8.
Yep.
Come out.
If you want to learn about ocean plastics, come to my classroom.
All right. If you would like to.
Ocean plastics?
My son's science fair project is titled I Like Pop, Do Plants Like Pop? So come out and find out if plants like pop. But it should be a good time.
Just want to add about Summer Learning Experience. The registration has been extended to April 26th, so we encourage all parents to sign your children up for summer learning. It's a great experience. We hope to see you there. Starts June 10th.
You have several hundred already, correct?
Oh, yeah, that's what I was
We are
gonna ask.
currently at 235 students, but we're marketing this. We're sending parent links out, so we're on schedule. As compared to last year, we're at about 250 at this time period. So we're on trend from last year's information, so we should be okay. We
Okay,
should be
great.
well on track.
Any announcements by the public? Seeing none, motion to adjourn would be in order.
So moved.
All those, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. We stand adjourned. Have a great evening. Be safe. It's kind of yucky out.